Hello everyone, myself Gayatri Ghodke from SYBSC. I am from Sarad College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Pune. So today I am here to explain you the topic Assembler Directives, guided by Assistant Professor Swati Mane. So now let's start with the PPT. This is the content of my PPT, which includes introduction, directives used for microcontroller, which are DB means defined by, ORG means origin, EQU means equate, and end directive. And at last we will see questions based on previous year papers. So in this whole PPT, we will learn the 4 directives DB, ORG, EQU, and end. So now let's move with the introduction part. So directives are instructions by the assembler to help automate the assembly process and to improve program readability. So directives are instructions which improve program readability. The 8051 microcontroller has one data type. It is 8-bit and the size of each register is also 8-bit. It is the job of programmer to break down data larger than 8 bits to be processed by the CPU. The data types used by the 8051 can be positive or negative. So as the size of microcontroller and the register is 8-bit, so programmer need to break down data which is larger than 8-bit. And here data type used can be positive or negative. Directives used for microcontroller. So first we will see the DB means defined by directive. It is most widely used data directive in assembler and it is used to define 8-bit data. When DB is used to define data, the numbers can be in decimal, binary, hexadecimal or ASCII formats. So DB is used to define the number or character type in the program. Programmer has to mention B for binary and H for hexadecimal to mention binary and hex numbers, and for decimal we did not require any character to define it as it is predefined. And regardless of which is used, the assembler will convert the numbers into hex. If we mention binary or decimal numbers instead of hexadecimal numbers, then the assembler will automatically convert that numbers into the hexadecimal format. To indicate ASCII characters must be written in quotation marks, that is, single quote or double quote can be used. Here the example given is hello, which is written in this single quote format. The assembler will assign the ASCII code for the number or characters automatically. The DB directive is the only directive that can be used to define ASCII strings larger than 2 characters. So this is the advantage of the DB directive, that we can define ASCII strings larger than 2 characters. Therefore, it should be used for all ASCII definitions. So next, ORG means origin directive. The origin directive is used to indicate the beginning of the address and it is used at the start of the program. The number that comes after ORG can be either in hexadecimal or in decimal format. If the number is not followed by H, it is decimal and the assembler will convert it into the hex. So, as we seen in the last slide, if the number is in the format of decimal or binary, the assembler will convert it into the hexadecimal format. Some assemblers use .org instead of org. So, example org00H. Here, hexadecimal number is used with the directive org. So, next, EQU means equate directive. So, this is used to define a constant without occupying a memory location. The EQU directive does not set aside storage for a data item but associates a constant value with a data label. Appears in the program, constant value will be substituted for the label. The EQU means the equate directive is used to define a constant without occupying a memory location, means it does not require any storage for a data item but it is containing a constant value with a data label. And the example given here is the following. The following uses EQU for the counter constant and then the constant is used to load the R3 register. So in this example, count EQU 25. So here the counter constant is used and having the value 25 in it. So the next instruction, move R3, hash count. So hash count is a constant which is having or containing the value 25 which is moved to the register R3. Here R3 will be loaded with value 25. And the advantage of EQU means equate directive is if we assume that there is a constant used in many different places in program and the programmer wants to change its value throughout. By the use of equate, the programmer can change it once and the assembler will change all of its occurrences rather than search the entire program trying to find every occurrence. Then next, end directive. This indicates to the assembler the end of the source file. The end directive is the last line of an 8051 program. That is, in the source code, anything after the end directive is ignored by the assembler. So this end directive is used at the end of the program, and the any instruction or any line entered after the end directive is ignored by the assembler, as we have mentioned the end directive before. Some assemblers use .end instead of end. So this is the end directive. The next, questions based on previous year papers. So these two questions are asked on the topic assembler directives in previous year for 1 mark. So first question, list any two assembler directives of 8051 microcontroller, and second, what is function of assembler directive org, that is origin. So these two questions are asked in previous year. So in this whole PPT, we have learned 4 directives, that is DB, origin, equate, and last end directive. So we have completed our topic assembler directives in this video. Thank you.